This is Hotel D'Amico. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Welcome. Did you hear this one, though? A vegan woman who climbed Mount Everest to prove that vegans are strong has passed away. Yeah, it's very sad. It's been reported she lost her will to live when she got to the top, only to see that there were no humans up there to tell that she was vegan. Yeah, very sad. Hey, did you hear this one? A Russian man is suing Apple, claiming that the iPhone has turned him gay. Yeah. The man's wife took him to the Apple store for repairs and saw him running off to Forever 21. Florida man has been reported selling his flat-screen TV so he could afford to buy a remote for it, yeah. We talked to the Florida man and said he wants to start over by selling the remote so he can afford batteries for it. Thank you. Hey, Joseph Ferranti, the magician, is here tonight. We got a great show for you. Stick around.
My boy!
I am so lost right now. I don't know where I'm going.
Most of us are, my boy.
I'm looking for a hotel.
What kind of a hotel?
It's my hotel.
Does your hotel have vacancy?
I don't know. I'm trying to get there.
Does your hotel have a continental breakfast, my boy?
I don't know. I've been running all night trying to get there.
Run no more, my boy. The hotel is within you.
I'd like to introduce Boston magician Joseph Ferranti. When we come back, we're going to be sitting down with Joseph Ferranti. Stay tuned. Joseph, I'd like to thank you for coming on Hotel D'Amico.
Pleasure.
Like I start most of my interviews, I like to ask my guests exactly what it is that you do in your definition.
I am just a magician.
Bottom line, magic.
Yeah, well, it's the interpretation of my audience, what they think they get out of it. I think it's some pretty strong magic. Is what I do. I do two types. I do close-up magic, where I work for 4 or 5 people strolling at a time, 4 or 5 groups like that. I also do a parlor show. Where I work for groups of 30, 40, 50 people, and it's a more formal type of show, but it's still the close-up magic, essentially. But it's got a lot of laughter and a lot of humor in it as well. But the magic is still in the forefront of everything I do. The beginning, I loved drawing pictures. So I had aspirations. I was a kid. I wanted to work for Walt Disney because I just wanted to draw Mickey Mouse and stuff like that. So actually, I went to college for 3 years. I didn't graduate for some reason, but I went to Mass College of Art in Boston, and after that, then I moved on to was mostly interested in music, and I did music for a number of years. But I dabbled with mostly card tricks since I was young, and I really enjoyed that.
Who were some of your influences that would even make you think it's possible to go into something like that?
Well, actually, I thought it was impossible. But what kind of hooked me, I was a very young boy, and I'm sure you don't remember, but there was a TV show. It was the Ed Sullivan Show.
The old Ed Sullivan Show.
Yeah. And every few months or something, they may have a magician on, and I just loved watching the magicians. I was just intrigued. But what they were doing is they were producing birds or
rabbits.
Candles. Yes, the occasional rabbit. But what they were doing was mostly stage manipulations. So that inspired me. But what I do today is nothing like that at all. It's a whole different premise. You see, do you mind if I go on?
Sure.
Rather, when they came out. When a magician is producing doves or whatever else, when they come out and when they hit the floor, bang, you see a bird, whatever, a flash, a fire, another bird. It's really visual, and they hit the ground running. What I do is close-up magic, mostly cards. I do other stuff, but mostly cards. And what happens is it's a different format where you set a premise, you're talking, you set a premise, and then you move on to try to prove what you've said. So there's a lot of talking, and so what you have to do in close-up magic, in my opinion, is to make it succinct, short, because you have to do the talking to set the thing, but the magic moment doesn't come till the end. And that's the point. So it's very, very different from stage magic.
So you have 40 plus years of this, 50 plus years of experience?
No.
Well, how long?
Well, I was working for audiences. I've only been doing this 15 years.
Got it.
And I didn't start until I retired from work. All right.
I see.
The work that I did was I was for 32 years. I was a custodian, and the type of work was very dirty, very, so my hands, no matter how much if you're a mechanic, no matter how much you wash your hands, no matter what they're still going to look grimy. And with what I do, I could not at that time go around to people and work for real people with dirty hands. It just didn't feel right and didn't look right. And also, you see, whatever I do is not original. I don't invent anything that you see, but I do use material from what I consider the best magicians.
When you were younger, were you drawn to card games in general, or did you just really start getting into manipulating cards when you did magic?
When I was a kid, and even a young adult, I used to enjoy playing cards, and I don't even see playing cards as a game.
Right.
I would never play a game of cards.
You can't even play Crazy Eights without cheating at this point.
No.
What about gambling? Are you into gambling?
Not at all.
He's banned from casinos.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They don't want him anywhere near it.
Everybody, a lot of magicians say that, and they're full of baloney. No one's banned from casinos. Although I do know somebody who is counting cards and doing very well.
What's his name?
I can't reveal that because whatever. But he's doing extremely well.
Really? Is that kind of like the long game? Kind of like long hours of gambling that you start to win?
No, I don't think so. It's blackjack, and I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding about this. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was just, when I heard it, I was just taken aback because I think they have. I don't gamble, so he's playing blackjack, and they have like 6 decks in the chute,
right?
Whatever. Again, I don't understand that, but I figure after you get past 1 deck, and you do 2, 3, 4, 5, it must get more complicated.
Yeah.
And he said, no, actually, it doesn't change it. So he's a math person. It's not my son. He's a math person. My son does math.
Oh, gotcha.
Engineer, right?
No, that's another one.
Okay.
He's an electrical engineer, but that doesn't matter. But I guess it remains the same for 6 decks as it does for 1. I didn't know that. But playing blackjack, when you count, it works. Evidently it works. I mean, I would not do that. I just haven't got the, I don't probably want to say it here, right?
The balls?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Is
because
that all right?
That's all right.
the pit bosses are going to be, they're always watching and they're seeing who's winning just a little
Yeah,
too
they
much.
watch. Well, that's his, that seems to be his secret. He says that he just never gets greedy and he just goes home.
Yeah, that's probably the way to do it. Do you think, I was thinking of this when you're...
I mean, it's not illegal. Don't get me wrong. It's not
frowned
illegal.
upon.
Right.
You can't. Well, they don't have a casino doesn't have to allow anybody in.
Yeah, they're private
Right.
business. They can
don't
throw you
want.
out.
And exactly, they'll throw you out. And if you're doing something really untoward towards their business, the penalty could be worse. But essentially, they'll just ask you to leave. And he's told me if they ask me to leave, I will leave.
Let me ask you this. So you get hired for parties, events, stuff like that, groups of people, obviously. But what is that like? Or maybe in the beginning, what was it like walking into strangers' houses, right?
Well, yeah, it's the work is small parties, right? to big corporate venues where, people are having hors d'oeuvres and drinks and whatever, maybe 100, 200, 300 people, whatever, or a small birthday party as small as 4, 5, 6 people, and everything in between. The only thing that it's not uncomfortable anymore is my job is to interrupt people. When I'm doing strolling magic, is the only way to get an audience is you have to go up, you have to approach an audience, and there's no secret way to do it. Magicians always ask, how do you do this? How do you do that? You just hang around and you kind of say, oh, excuse me. Or you let them know, I'm the magician, I'm your entertainment for tonight. And usually that's enough. People generally will drop what they're doing at an event and say, oh, yeah, please show us something.
What are your thoughts on, I don't want to say newer magicians, or we can call them mentalists, so they're not quite what you do, but I'm sure you're aware of them?
Yeah.
The David Blaines and...
Yeah, Dave is wonderful. He's fantastic.
Can you watch somebody like that and kind of pick up on what he's doing, or is he just so far ahead?
Honestly, some of David Blaine I watch and I say, oh yeah, I know that, I know this. And then there's other stuff that's just, it's like with any magician. There's some stuff that you're going to understand and know. And there's other stuff that, I get fooled easily. I can easily be fooled.
Can also fool people easily.
Yes. Yeah, just as easy. The fun is for the people who are watching. It's not about me, I generally, I generally can't have that feeling anymore because I'm on the other side of the fence now.
Did you go to a mystery school or magic training, or
No.
how did that work?
No.
Mystery school?
Well, yeah, there is a school.
Where is it?
It's a
I don't know
mystery.
where
Can't tell me?
It's not for you to know.
There is a school called the Mystery School. It's put on by this magician named Jeff McBride. Whatever. But no, I've never been to a mystery school.
Is there like an underworld, like a subculture of magic people?
There's definitely the training aspects of it.
Not as much as there used to be. Everything is open now. You got YouTube. If you want to, you saw some stuff today. Go check it out on YouTube. You may see how it's done. I don't know what's on there.
I was thinking about when you were mentioning casinos that a lot of the card dealers, it's kind of like their beginnings or training to do magic if they want, because they're so skilled in moving cards around quickly in front of groups. I feel like they already are getting a lot of good practice, even though they're not doing it.
But they're already doing sleight of hand, kind of.
Are they? Have you? Honestly, I haven't been to a casino since I think it was 1968.
Or even the stuff that goes into, like, let's say you can hire somebody and like 20 minutes into it, he starts pulling stuff out of his mouth, like whatever, ribbons or cards or whatever. So that means you're showing up to the venue with...
Would you like to see that?
I guess I'm asking. No, I'm asking what goes into it.
I've always been interested in the chewing of cards.
Yeah, is there a lot of prep work? Must be.
And is that keto?
Is that what?
Is that keto?
Keto diet?
Yeah.
Eating cards?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, when they spit them out.
That's true.
Like that. Is that what,
You might get some calories from the ink.
yeah.
I guess you'll never reveal, right?
Well, you got me so confused now because we were talking about the boxes and now we're back to cards.
I know. I saw you've chewed or eaten some of the cards. I saw in one of your videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it made me think of it.
That was just, I had
That
to
was
do it
lunch?
at the moment. No, I was riffing. Something went wrong.
Oh, okay.
Something went wrong.
So you're trying to divert attention.
No, I wasn't. Something went wrong, and so I produced the card from my mom.
What kind of event was that? Was it like a?
It was a birthday.
It was a birthday party.
It was an adult birthday party.
Okay.
But my question is, like, all right, so that's, call it like a backup or a plan B. Is that always ready to go if you need it?
No, that's called tap dancing.
Yeah?
Yeah, sometimes you have to tap dance.
Yeah. Get yourself out of a jam.
Things go wrong.
Things do go wrong.
Things go wrong.
I feel like watching you.
But not too often.
I'm seeing kind of your style and how much of the magic is the back and forth with the people you're interacting with. That's so much building that rapport and even building a repetition with them in ways where you're kind of setting the tempo for things.
Exactly. It's the whole thing, and we're getting back to the close-up magic again, is that it's a conversation. And that's what keeps it from getting totally boring. Is
Right.
that they're participating in the conversation
Right.
they have. But you don't let them get out of hand, because people will go cuckoo if they want to take over. So it's a fine balance. You got to try to keep it under control, but you got to listen to them. When they speak, you can't just say, have them say something and you're not listening, because you're going to go do the next thing.
Right.
How long do you think it takes to get really good at sleight of hand? Because that's what we're looking at, right?
It takes a long time.
Years.
Yeah, well, you know what? Yes, it does. It takes a long time, and it's, this isn't coming from me. I forget who said this at first. It's not the years, it's the hours. And there's a big difference between, because I can continue just doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to be alive that much longer, but I can keep doing what I do without practicing anymore. I can just go and do that. But if you really want to get good at your sleight of hand or whatever, you have to put hours and hours and hours. And it's not a secret, but the biggest part is that you have to enjoy practice. If you don't enjoy practice, you just, because you don't, some things I've put more hours than I care to admit, into learning something really silly and stupid that just is never going to be seen, but it's necessary if you want to work at a high level of magic,
Right.
of deception. Some things are just important that you have to learn and put in the hours.
I heard actually you did some magic on Anthony and his girlfriend earlier today or out and about town.
Let's take a look at that.
Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
Nice to meet you.
I'm Joe.
Come on in, Joe. I'm
Thank
Laura.
you. But I want you to think back to when you were a young girl, which is not that long ago. Again, you see from my perspective, it doesn't look like it's that long ago. I want you to think of someone who's important to you when you were growing up, all right? Hopefully, well, it's up to you. Hopefully this person isn't passed on, but somebody who was important at some age. And do me a favor, could you just print just the first name of this person? Just the first name. We don't need a long story. And don't let anybody else see. Least of all me. Could I have the pen back? Thank you very much. I just got ink on myself, but that's okay. Can you just put it back? It's good. You realize I'm OCD, right? So you pick that.
Yeah, pick up on.
Could you just put your hands out like that?
Like this?
That's it, and cover up the cards there like that. Now the first thing I have to do is figure out if this is a male or a female. It would be a male, yeah? Okay, but I mean,
Am I supposed to tell you?
it's up to you. You
Okay.
can do whatever. But obviously you're smiling, so is this a family member?
Yes.
Close.
Yes.
It's usually either a father or a brother.
Yes.
And which one is it?
Brother?
So you still talk with your brother?
Yes.
And when will you talk with him next?
Probably in an hour.
In an hour? So when you talk to Jack, would you tell him that Joe is asking for him?
Yes.
There's a cheap souvenir for you. Thank you. What's your name?
Picasso.
How do you spell it?
E-F-A-Z-U.
Picasso.
Yeah.
I'm Joe.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. I'm gonna do something a little strange, all right? But Picasso, what's gonna happen is you're gonna have the ability to experience a moment from the past and a moment from the future at the same time. Interested?
Yeah.
Let's see what we can. of course, it'll be in the form of cards.
Okay.
What else would I do? First of all, Fazo, what we need is, we need any cards that just say stop as I go like that. Right there. See that card? So now we'll put that aside. We don't care what it is. All right, we'll get back to it later, okay? But in the meantime, we do need another card, Fazo. So we'll do the same thing that we did before, just say stop. Right there. I can see it, it's not that kind of a thing, Fazo. I do have a pen. Fazo, can you take the card and just write your name really big on the face of it? Very good, thank you. Thank you for putting the cap on. Now I can see Faza. Here's the thing, we just have to put it on the top and leave it there for just a couple seconds. That should be enough. Now we'll lose your card in the middle. Well, it's not lost because it's face up, of course, right? But if we turn it down, and we mix the cards a bit, then nobody can be really sure where your card is. We'll mix them a little more. The only thing that's important is that it's not on the top. We use the concept of time, not sleight of hand, the concept of time to get to your card, all right? We'll find it. If we go back just a couple seconds ago, do you remember a couple seconds ago when your card was on the dot? Faza, we should be able to do it again. Watch. I'll do it very slow. No sleight of hand, right? We just use the concept of time and we go back a couple seconds to before when your card was on the top.
Oh my god.
Faza, what if we could go back further than that?
Okay.
Do you remember I gave you a pen? You signed your name on the card, right? If we could go back before you signed your name, well, then your name wouldn't be on the card. Right? What if we could go back further than that? All the way to the beginning, before you selected a card, well, then I wouldn't be holding it.
I didn't even know this would happen.
Faza, look. You remember way back, you remembering all this, yeah?
Yes.
You said stop, you selected a card. You remember what it, yeah, it was the three. You wrote your name on it, if I recall, right? And then we put it further down there. Used the concept of time and it came back to the top with a little signature on it. But Faza, do you remember I promised you something at the beginning? Do you remember I told you you would experience a moment from the past and the future at the same time?
Yes.
And we put one card over here?
Yes.
This is that very moment.
That's
Card
incredible. Wow.
But it gets worse. It gets even worse than that. I came all the way from Wilmington, all right? Only 45 minutes, but I want to give you something that you'll remember this moment by. This is a moment from the present. And that's my name, Joe, so you get to keep that, all right? But that moment from the present can be combined with the past and the future, and you'll have a memory of all three. The past, future, and the present. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
You're amazing.
That's a cheap souvenir for you.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much.
So at this point, I assume you know each other extremely well.
Very well.
Right?
I hope so.
That helps. That helps. Maura?
Yep.
1 second. See this? We'll get back to this in a second. What I'm going to do, Anthony, is I'm going to flip through the cards like this. You'll say stop. You can see them. Yeah, you don't wear glasses. You'll say stop. You'll see a card. Maura will see it also. All right? But it's his card.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But you should look.
Should I look? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, you have to.
Okay.
Okay, Anthony, just as I flip through the cards, just say stop.
Stop.
Wow, right at the beginning. Is that good for you?
Good for me.
Mara, can you see Anthony's card?
I can.
You can see Anthony's card. Mara, I'm not going to go through the deck and look for Anthony's card. It's not that kind of a trick. What's going to happen is you saw the card, right? Mm-hmm. What I need you to do is to name any other card in the deck, not yet. And when you do, using just a little bit of psychology and reverse engineering, I'll figure out Anthony's card.
Okay.
All right? You on board?
I'm on board.
So any card in the deck but don't name Anthony's card. Go ahead.
Okay, ace of spades.
The ace of spades, the most obvious card in the deck, which is totally fine. We can use that. Now that tells me something. She saw your card. The first thing that most people do, and you are most people, all right, is they change the color of the card. Yeah. So that, you said ace of spades, that's obviously a black card, so Anthony, your card, red card, yeah? You're gonna be like that woman like that, you go, I'm not gonna tell you anything.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, you're gonna be that one.
He already
Yours
knows.
is the red card. But anyhow, the suits are also related, like clubs go with diamonds and hearts go with spades. You said a spade, so your card would be a heart. It goes with that. And ace is like a 1, all right? You change it. I think yours is more like a high card or a picture card or something. I'll go with that. That should be enough. Let's see if we can get this here. Did I put a card in my pocket?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll get back to that in a minute.
I didn't see you put card in your pocket.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I told her to watch. This should be able to do it right here. Laura, can you just hold on to those for me?
Sure.
Anthony, for the first time, what was the card that you saw?
Queen of Hearts. Whoa!
Well, I'm glad you like that, because this is going to kill you. See, the only way I knew that Anthony would get the Queen of Hearts was, remember this card, was if I always knew that you were going to name Ace of Spades.
Wild.
That's my job.
Very cool.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Should we do one more? Do me a favor. No. Well, you can say the Ace of Spades. Name any card in the deck, but probably not the Ace of Spades this time.
Okay. 10 of clubs.
The 10. Good. Very random, more random. Now, there's also numbers in the cards, right? There's like Ace to King, which is 1 to 13, but you know how many cards there are in the deck, right? How many?
52.
52. All right. So, Anthony, what I need you, what'd you say?
10 of clubs.
Keep that in your mind. And you're going to think of a number between 1 and 52. All right. Now, I don't mean to tell you what to do, but if you say 1, the trick's over right away. All right. If you say 52, I got to go home at some point. So somewhere, whatever. I want you to have a free choice. All right.
Got it.
Anthony, can you shuffle?
Good enough.
But yeah, you don't have to go crazy. You're just changing the order. That's all.
Yeah, cut in the pot.
Well, any way you want. Yeah, I mean, you can do it a professional way. You can do it you're just changing the order. So you got a number in your mind, right?
I do.
Okay. Now I want you to deal cards onto my hand, right to that number. Stop when you get to that. I'll count for you.
Facing up?
Stop. No, face down. 1, 2, 3, hold it. 4, hold it. 5. You're gonna stop when you get to your number. Okay, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 32 cards. You just named it. You named the card. No, you named the card. Yeah, and you just thought of a number and you dealt it. The 32nd card.
How?
Is that enough magic for today?
So what's ahead for you? What's going on right now?
Not much, honestly. I don't want to tell you how old I am, but I'm really old, and I don't know how many years I got left. I just had cancer here. Whatever. My wife made me go.
She made you? Well, good thing she did.
Yeah, it was. I didn't see it coming. There was a little bump there, and she kept. God, she was a pain. She was a real pain. So I made an appointment with, what are those skin doctors?
Dermatologist.
Yeah, dermatologist. And it took about 6 to 8 months to get an appointment. So I went in, whatever, they checked it, whatever, and they got in touch with me. They says, well, the thing we took here was fine. However, you're going to need surgery. And I says, oh, okay. So what would happen if you would die. So it's like serious, but it's not serious cancer.
It's not?
Well,
I think it's not serious, cancer. It's not
well,
spreading at the moment.
you caught it. If I had ignored it, If I had ignored it totally, yeah, you're gonna die.
It would probably be like necrosis of your nose. At some point.
Rabbits.
That's a,
You have to take your whole nose off.
yeah, that could be.
Really?
That'd be a good trick you could do.
I
Though.
don't know.
You could do that. It'd be one of your tricks where you take your nose off.
I won't get into it, but a guy told me a story about somebody, whatever. We won't get into that.
Where he took his own nose off?
Well, no, it got chopped off, and he had a
In an
prosthetic type thing, and I guess he could take it off, whatever.
When he
Which
would, when he would like have a few drinks, he'd take his nose off.
You know, I've heard it a few times. Because he's old too, and he repeats himself, and he tells the same stories over and over again. Oh Jesus, he's probably going to be watching this. He's going to be mad at me.
We'll get him on.
But the guy could
Dueling
take
magicians.
his. It was. I think it was a boating accident. The propeller cut his nose off. You'd have
Jesus.
have to ask my friend. But yeah, he could take his nose off, and he would. I don't think he had to be drinking.
I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing at I guess the absurdity of it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he was making it up, but it sounds really crazy.
Well, he could prove it. I'm sure the guy, right?
No, I think the guy's dead. So
Oh, he's dead.
Whatever.
Joseph, thanks for coming on Hotel D'Amico. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much.
If you know where to find this guy, Joseph Ferranti, go look him up. Good night.